Hello Pisces, welcome back if you're a returning subscriber. Thank you for coming. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Hope you enjoy the reading. It's a general reading, so aspects may apply to you, or it could be playing out in somebody else's life that's close to you at this time. So your first area of interest is the ninth house. This is the house of faith. It's the house of wisdom. It's the house of seeking meaning and truth. And the meaning and the truth of that underlies all things. It's also about your intuitive processes, everything to do with that, and seeking the deeper meanings in whatever it is that's going on in your life. Now, this seems to be quite a theme for you this month. You have a number of cards and aspects here which are saying that. You've got a couple of them coming up, which is pointing to a period of some sort of self-analysis or deeper analysis, or just going within to actually to look within and actually gain wisdom from that, and just to go be in a quiet space, to sort of retreat almost from the world and what is going on around you, so that you can formulate for what it is that you want to do in the weeks ahead. So ninth house can also be about that. It covers a lot of other practical issues as well, but it can also be about exploration, whether this is in the mind or through philosophy, religion, belief systems, things like that. But it can also be physical exploration. So this can be actually going somewhere to explore. It's also got an adventure element to it, so adventure may come in for you. But travel, usually international travel of some kind, comes up in the ninth house. Or it can be sort of exposure to foreign concepts, foreign people, foreign cultures, foreign belief systems, and so on. So there may be aspects of that which are, of interest to you at this time, and you're having a look at those and gaining deeper wisdom and insight into certain things as well. But it also covers, this house also covers higher education, and adult education. So this is normally university level. So you may be contemplating a course of study, or you are currently in a course of study at the moment, and working your way through that. As I said, it's philosophy, religion, and belief systems all comes in under the ninth house. So does the law, the legal system, the higher courts. Prophecy also comes in to this house as well. It's also the house of teaching, publishing, promotional work, all types of, whether it's public relations or promotional work. As I said, law and legality. So you may be studying law even, or you may be looking at that for some insight and information as well. Bottom of the this column is Grand Trine Blessings. So this is a lovely card to be having in any house. It is bringing exactly that, blessings, but this card has a good harmonious flow to it. So there's harmony. There may even be completion for you in some way. So this could be completion in a project that you've been working on, or something that you've wanted to get to grips with, whether it's a form of study or something else that you've been learning about. It could also be to do with a bigger cycle going on in the ninth house for you. So it has that air of completion to it, but it also has contentment. Sort of like a settled feeling, but it's really is about the flow of the universe, and that you may feel like you're in the flow of things. Things may have been very tricky and difficult up until now, but some sort of harmonious flow is available to you now, and you can go with that to move forward. It can also bring in a sort of a flow of blessings to you, or a flow of ease. So your path may be easier at this time. So blocks and obstacles may be removed right now. And also just a feeling of going with the flow. But it's almost like doors opening. There's a bit of luck and breakthroughs there possibly as well. So it's almost like you're overcoming certain things, and you now can expect a better flow and a more harmonious flow in your life at this time. So it can bring blessings to you in that flow, or you could be feeling in the flow of things. You could be getting a lot of insights and downloads right now, and it can also be harnessing the artistic side of yourself as well. So this is tapping into the imaginative realms. So this can be whatever is your forte, or whatever it is that you like to focus on, whether it's poetry or writing or the arts in general. Could be artistic ability as in drawing and painting, or just some other artistic endeavor. But it's got a very creative flow to it. It's almost like a divine influence, where you are literally in the flow of life. So take advantage of this time to really channel whatever is coming to you, any sort of imaginative or inspirational work, or downloads, or any kind of channeling. Any of that, you may want to write about it, you may be publishing things about it. But there's a certain, as I said, there's a certain element of contemplation here as well. But it could also be the completion of something. Maybe it's a greater form of work which you've been busy with now in the last while. At the top we have seek quiet time. Take some quiet time alone to rest, meditate, and contemplate. So as I said, this is coming up. It's a general theme. It's coming up a few times in your chart. So being a Pisces, this is also necessary for you as well anyway, to go within and retreat a little bit and get centered, okay? And this is what she's saying. She's saying that you need to actually put time aside for yourself, whether this is through a trip, perhaps an international trip, or some sort of long distance trip that you want to go and do. Perhaps it is a retreat. It could be yoga. It could be some other kind of retreat, or it could be an activity which you need to go and do, which allows you that time to yourself, to be with yourself, to contemplate what is happening in your life, or perhaps how to navigate another path forward, to reset your goals and so on. But there is a certain amount of contemplation and meditation in this. So whatever activity is going to do that for you, then do it. It could also be, because it's the 9th house and religion, philosophy, and also higher education comes in there, it could be you visiting educational sites, or sites of power. So this could be, sort of religious places of worship, whether they're older church buildings or places of great age. It could be institutions, as I said, like higher education institutions and so on. You could be visiting those, but there is a certain amount of time you need to be on your own to actually work out what it is you're going to do going forward, and just to contemplate a few things. Also, if you are completing a cycle or you're completing something, there's some quiet time actually required at the end of that endeavor. So just to be by yourself and actually do a bit of a cleansing and a clearing, and just to recenter yourself after quite a busy period. It may be that as well. So take some quiet time and do that for yourself. It's a form of self-care and a form of self-love as well. But it could be just time reading through texts, or enjoying some reading, some reading which is uplifting and inspirational for you, or channeling your imaginative works. But it's time on your own to just be, and whatever works for you in that regard. As I said, it could even be a trip, something that you need to go and do, or just time away somewhere. Because you've got the Grand Trine blessings coming, there is a flow there. So you need to be spending time in a place which has that kind of energy to it as well. In the 2nd house, we've got, this is the house of owning. It's the house of possessions. It's also the house of income. So however your income comes to you. It's also the house of self-worth and your value systems. So these are all intricately connected, and your self-worth may determine your income. So all of these areas are very important, and it's everything that you value. So all of us have been through quite a tumultuous year, and so your view of what it is that you valued in the past may be changing now. So this could be either to do with possessions that you have, or the letting go of certain possessions, or whatever, or the redirection of it. And this is why you need the contemplation, I feel, to actually come to grips with where you stand currently in your life. It's like an assessment, So everything that you own, whatever it may be, 2nd house can be, as I said, all kinds of ownership. So any form of possession that you have, whatever your possessions are. But it can also extend to property. real estate, land, and so on, and you may be wanting to invest in that. Perhaps you're wanting to have a quiet place by the sea or somewhere away, which is like a holiday home or a place that you can periodically go to with your family or on your own or whatever. So you may be investing in that or be looking for a place like that. But as I said, it is also about self-worth, and quiet time is required right now in certain ways, at certain times, for you to actually redirect your energies at this time. So everything to do with the second house, but it is a money house, so you can't escape that. So your form of incomes may also be under review at this time, or you may be receiving inspiration in that regard, and this comes from the quiet time. Inspiration, because then you can hear the wisdom, you can hear your inner wisdom, and you can feel the downloads, and you can actually receive the ideas and start manifesting from those ideas. So speaking of that, at the bottom we have Uranus, genius. So Uranus is the god of change. Okay, so there is some change coming in for you in this house. So whether this is a quick unexpected change, or it is something that you are going to initiate, and it has really quite far-reaching implications, but normally Uranus is like a lightning bolt. So this could be a change, a very swift upheaval which comes for you, or as I said, you could be initiating this, and the impetus of it is very fast and sudden. Or it could be that you are actually having a realization or a perception change of something, or something is being revealed to you and you're now able to see a pattern, or something is going to be revealed to you which you couldn't quite see before, or you didn't, if you're receiving downloads at this time, during your ascension process, and that is coming up certainly for you, some things will now make sense, or you'll be able to see some things that you didn't notice before. So that's the kind of energy of Uranus. But it's normally quite an upheaval. It can actually really pull the rug out from under you. It can be very unexpected and sudden. So, but it could actually, as I said, just be purely mental and be a real, very serious, realization change or a perception change, or you could be a really brilliant idea which is going to come to you at this time, or you could just suddenly receive inspiration about what direction to take in this house. So it literally can be like like I said, a bolt of lightning. Something comes down for you, and now you can see. It can also be liberation from something that you have been stuck in. So it could have been an old mindset, or a situation, or a form of income that just wasn't right for you, and you're now making changes, or you suddenly see the path that you can take. But you're going to be, receiving this inspiration that's going to come to you. And from that, you will be able to make the necessary changes, but it could be very swift. So with Uranus, the motto is expect the unexpected. Okay, so something will be revealed to you, or a path, or some sort of upheaval. But always, Uranus will prepare you to move in your direction. So the change will come, and then you will be able to move in the direction which is meant for you, which is the purpose of this shift. Okay. But it's also about unconventional things. Uranus is normally rules Aquarius. So you could be going on an unconventional path, or you could have an idea which goes against the norm. And that's why it will be a successful idea, because you're thinking out of the box. Uranus can do that for you as well. So unconventional things, you could be mixing with unconventional people, or exotic people, or foreign people, and learning through them. You could also be mixing with people who are cutting edge. They're very technologically advanced, or they have a skill set in technology which you have not yet been exposed to, and you're going to learn from them. They could also be of a different gender to you, or a different sexuality to you as well. So that can come in as well. But be open. Be open and receptive to what is coming to you, and learn from the experience, because you're going to gain something important from this. It can also be, as I said, technology coming in for you. So this is normally advanced tech. Uranus rules the future and futuristic technology. But for you, depending on where you are in the whole technological cycle, it could be simply an upgrade for you. But So from what you have been using to something else, or you could be going really quite advanced, or something, like I said, unconventional, something that's not known, very well known. But whatever it is, you're going to be able to use it in your second house. Now, this could be to create income for you, which is therefore going to affect what you value. So you could be, valuing different things, or you could be learning to value a new system of some sort. And therefore that affects your self-worth, because you manage to bring in a new idea, new realizations, new ways of doing things, new energy, and so on. But Uranus can do that. It's a very powerful sign, a very powerful planet, and it's the god of change. That is Uranus. But it can affect you in a number of ways, as I said, depending on where you are. But expect the unexpected with Uranus. Then at the top here we have Ostara, fertility. It is the perfect time for you to start new projects, access new ideas, and give birth to new conditions. So as I said, with Uranus, there's going to be new things coming in for you, whether it's something, of course, a technological aspect, or it's a new way of making money, or you're harnessing something. It could be a realization, it could be a brilliant idea, but you're harnessing the genius within. We all have the genius within. So you're harnessing that in some way, shape, or form, and you're going to use it in your second house. And Ostara is saying this is a very, very good time for you to be redirecting your energy, and Uranus is going to help you shift with that. It's going to create circumstances in which you will be, literally moved in that direction. So new ideas, new projects, new concepts, new way of doing things, planting seeds. This is a very fertile time for planting new things which will bear fruit later. So think about that, see which way it's coming for you. Normally with Ostara, this is where Easter comes from. And that's why we have the bunny rabbits and the daffodils and the Easter eggs and so on. So, we have already passed Easter, so this is probably more springtime if you're Southern Hemisphere, or if you are in the Northern Hemisphere. It's any time that the light is increasing for you. So you are in the Northern Hemisphere, you are getting, your light quotient in the day is rising. So it's coming for you at this time. It's a very, very good time for planting and, for actually starting new things. A fertile time, if you can think about that. So think about how you can apply that in your second house at this time. Then in the last area of influence, we have the 8th house, endings and beginnings. 8th house has been coming up a lot in everybody's readings this month. So we are in a time of transformation, and the 8th house is everything to do with transformation. You also have Pluto, transformative card, coming up for you as well. So with Uranus and Pluto often work hand in hand. So Uranus creates the shift, and then Pluto brings in further changes. But Pluto is longer cycle than Uranus. But nonetheless, the shift is going to be created for you. So some cycle or something in your life will draw to a close, and a new chapter will begin. So you can decide in what area that's going to come up for you. But normally the 8th house is everything to do with sexuality and the deeper meaning of that. It's about death, and that is not necessarily a physical death. It can be a symbolic death, as in the passing away of an old part of your life, or an old structure, or an old circumstance, or an old relationship, whatever it may be. But something is literally ending, and something new is beginning. And it can also cover birth or rebirth. So this, when it's birth, it can literally be a physical birth, but it can also be the birth of an idea. And with Uranus present in your chart, and the 8th house is also a money house. So you've got 2 money houses coming up here. Something long-term can be harvested at this time. So, but you may have to redirect your energies and shift your perspective, which is what the Uranus card is going to bring in for you, and Ostara with the fertility and doing new things. So this is some kind of shift for you from the way you have been doing things to the way you are going to be doing them going forward. So it can also be the renewal or the regeneration of existing systems, relationships, money systems as well. So it's the renewal or the regeneration of those. So it could be, and Ostara also talks about resurrection. So it could be something that you used to do from the past, or something that worked for you in the past, maybe coming back again as in a cycle, and it could be an investment even, something like that. But the death side of it can also cover things like inheritances and legacies. So you may be thinking along those lines. If you're older and you've got a family, you may be looking at that, or you may be on the receiving end of an inheritance or a legacy, something like that. But this being a finance house, it can also cover accounting, banking, tax. Tax is very, very important with this house. Be very, very careful whatever you're doing around tax. And it can also be about investments, insurances, sort of, the heavyweight finances, the long-term things, assets and so on, all of those. It can also be about handling other people's money and resources. This card is also about the nuts and bolts of when you merge with another, either in a committed relationship or in a partnership, like a business partnership. So it's the nuts and bolts of how you're going to put those two together. So everything about you and everything about the other person. The joining together of your material and your emotional resources. And if it's a relationship, as in a love relationship, a committed relationship, that can be everything to do with deeper sexuality as well, and the meaning of that between committed partners. So all of those aspects can come in under the 8th house. But it certainly is a big wheel changing. There's an ending and a beginning, or it could be lots of smaller endings and beginnings. It can also be like the phoenix rising, so something coming out of something that died or passed away some time ago. Perhaps it's an old cycle that ended and something new is going to come to you out of that, So all of those aspects could come in for the 8th house. Underneath it you have Gemini, I think. So this is indicating a number of things. It can be that you have a decision to make at the moment, and you are in two minds about it. Okay, and we'll get to that with Donna, focused intention as well. So Diana, so we you've got to look at it from that way. It may be that you have a decision to make and that you're now weighing it up. And what it's saying is that you're going to need to use your intellectual and your analytical abilities in order to sort this out. You may need to get help in that regard as well. But always consult your inner wisdom at this time. And this is why it's saying spend time in quietness to contemplate what is the right course of action for you. So it's a very mental sign, everything to do with mental activities. You could be hearing news, so receiving news or gossip, or some kind of even intuition, but it could also be, so it's almost like a news or a media release, or some kind of message is coming in for you that can come in, or you may be having to give out a message of some kind, or send a note out, or communicate with others. Gemini is everything about communication as well, but this can be written and verbal, and it can even be body language. It can also cover technology as well, and you've already had the technology card. So so you could be receiving news or a message, or some kind of, somebody's going to say something to you, or you're going to be giving it out. It could be that as well. It could also be around documents and contracts and so on. There could be aspects of that coming in. But it's also about being quick-minded, quick-witted, and walking your talk at this time, especially in the 8th house. So you may have to be very quick on the mark with something. You may have to think on your feet. It also is about research and ideas and the exchange of ideas. That falls under the realm of Gemini as well. Media may come in, and being curious about lots of different things. So research, finding information out, learning about things, understanding things. But it's a lot of information to be sort of taken in and assimilated as well. So all of that may come in. It's also the just beware of gossip and beware of scandals. Sometimes that can come in with Gemini, which is ruled by Mercury. Sometimes you can get things like that coming in as well. So just take the high road, the moral high ground, whatever it may be, and don't get involved, because it could backfire on you in the 8th house. Be very careful. This card is also about, it's the it corresponds to the tarot card, the Lovers. So because this is the 8th house and there's a relationship basis to this, it could be that a significant relationship is coming in for you. So the Lovers card, it's a significant relationship. Or it could be purely to do with sexuality and the deeper understanding of that. So this person, whoever it is, may have really quite an important influence in you in that regard. So that is coming in. It may be an aspect for you, or it could be the renewal of a love, perhaps in your life. But certainly the Lover's card is available, and the energy of that is coming up for you as well. The goddess guidance is focused intention, Diana. So keep your unwavering thoughts, feelings, and actions focused on your target, and you will make your mark. So I feel from a financial point of view, this is about if you've got a decision to make. Once you make that decision, then go for it. Do not be, especially if it's an unconventional idea, okay, or something that people will perceive to be out of the ordinary. It's saying avoid the naysayers and the skeptics. Just point your arrow, draw back your bow on your target and let it fly. But you must be focused in your intention and your desires, and which is where again the quiet time comes in to contemplate what it is you want actually, what direction you need to go in. So it's that action of drawing back the bow and sighting your target, and having your focused intention, and be clear about your intentions as well in this regard. So financially, that may be a situation where you are now redirecting your energies, and you just need to work out you do your research, use technology, find out from others, listen and learn. And with the Gemini card, it's also about paying attention to the small things, to details and so on, because sometimes with Gemini, your mind can get scattered, too many things going on. And this is why it's saying focused intention. Yes, use the curiosity and the ability to assimilate lots of information, which is a Gemini forte, but don't get lost in it. You must still have your focused intention on what it is you want to achieve here. So it's about focusing that energy into a specific area, which is going to be beneficial for you, and then go for it, and just have faith and direct your arrow in that area, and go with it with everything you have. At the bottom of the astrological deck is Pluto transformation. So as I said, that is coming in for you. Pluto rules the 8th house. So this is definitely a theme for you, transformation. But it really is almost like a deeper self-analysis. So this could be relationship-based, where you are having to, you may have to end something and, to make room for something new. Or it could be somebody coming back who is a significant relationship for you. And it's all the energies and the past memories and perhaps issues that you have to sort out between you and them. But there is a certain element of contemplation with this card, a certain element of self-analysis. What do you want? Where do you want to direct your energy? What is it that you are actually wanting to achieve, and what are your intentions at this time? So deeper self-analysis coming up. There could be issues of control coming up, or manipulation that can also come in with Pluto, which normally rules Scorpio. So all of those energies may be coming in, but it's a deeper energy. It's a very powerful energy, and it can bring huge transformational change for you. So you've got an opportunity for a life change here. But it can also bring in issues to do with tax. Monetary affairs may be uppermost in your mind. So I do feel there's a strong financial aspect coming in here for you. But it is far-reaching and deep. And so that deep self-analysis is required. You may be going through a bit of turmoil. There could be strong emotions around you at this time as well. But Pluto is about, in order to go in a new path, or if you've got a room full of furniture, it's too full, and there's a new piece of furniture, a beautiful piece of furniture which you would like to bring in, you have to remove something in order to bring that new piece of furniture in. So think like that. This is something that has to end in order for something new to come in. And so it's the contemplation around that, what it is that you need to change in order to bring the fresh energy, and move that forward, and move yourself forward at this time. And going with the contemplation theme as well, we have white Tara, sensitivity. You are becoming increasingly sensitive. Avoid harsh relationships, environments, situations, and chemicals. So what this card is saying is that you are on the path of ascension, and there are always going to be times where you need to just withdraw, retreat, go spend time, in contemplation, where you are actually listening to your inner self. You have to listen. And that is what meditation is actually. It's listening to yourself and your higher self. But you need to withdraw periodically as well, to just shut yourself off from other areas of influence, or other people are influencing you, and you just to avoid, clean out the chemicals in your home. Make sure your home is environmentally friendly, that you're eating properly. That, be careful with the medications that you may be taking. Try and supplement with more natural medicines, which perhaps are not going to be as harsh on your body. Look after your body, your vehicle, which is going to carry you through life. If you need to retreat, to have time alone, then you must do that. And just stay away from things that are triggering, whether it's a relationship or environment or too much media, and so on. And even though you have Gemini card coming in for you in the 8th house, which can be a bit of an overdose on media, it's saying that you need to balance this. So yes, you may need to do your research and spend time in those environments, but at every opportunity, retreat, withdraw, and spend time on your own just to contemplate and actually have a break, to give yourself a chance to listen, And so steer clear of anything that is triggering for you, whether it's a substance or an environment or a person or technology or media, whatever it is. Just take time out periodically. Okay, Pisces, hope you enjoyed that. Please don't forget to like and share, or like and subscribe. And have a good month, and I will see you next time.